Here's a $10,000 question every HVAC contractor faces. When you're standing in front of a customer's old furnace, how do you know whether to keep the existing ductwork or sell them a complete system overhaul? I've seen too many contractors guess wrong in this decision, either leaving money on the table or creating comfort nightmares that lead to callbacks. Today, I'm going to walk you through the exact 4-step process I use to make this call every single time. What's up, HVAC pros? Chris Morin here with HVAC Pro Blog. After at least 2 decades in this industry, I can tell you that ductwork decisions can make or break system replacements. Here's the thing, most contractors are flying blind on this critical choice. In the next 5 minutes, you're going to learn the systematic approach that takes the guesswork out of duct evaluation. We'll cover the 4 essential calculations that determine whether existing ducts can handle your new equipment, plus I'll show you the real examples that could save you thousands in callbacks. Step 1, calculate your system's friction rate. Let's start with the foundation, and this is where most contractors go wrong. You can't evaluate existing ducts without knowing what your new system demands. Here's the reality. When you're moving from an old 80% furnace to a new 95% high efficient unit, everything changes. That new furnace needs significantly more airflow because of its lower temperature rise. I've seen contractors install beautiful new equipment only to discover the existing ducts can't deliver the required CFM. The friction rate calculation is simple, but critical. Friction loss per 100 feet equals your available blower static times 100 divided by the total equivalent length of your longest duct run. Your target is between 0.06 and 0.16 inches of water column. If it's below 0.06, you've got inadequate blower performance or bad fittings. If it's above 0.16, you're looking at excessive velocity and noise issues. When I'm replacing systems, I start with medium speed and medium static. Typically 0.4 to 0.5 for air handlers or heat pumps, and 0.5 to 0.6 for furnaces with add-on coils. This gives you room to adjust up or down during commissioning. Step 2, you need to verify return trunk capacity. Now here's where the old wives' tale needs to die. Yes, return air matters, but it's not just about making ducts bigger. Pull out your duct calculator and check 2 things. Can the return trunk handle the full volume of air? And what's the velocity? Return trunks should run between 500 to 700 feet per minute. Any higher, and you need a larger return or an additional path from this return plenum. I remember a callback where the homeowner complained about noise. Turns out the existing return was pulling air in the right volume, but it was over 900 feet per minute. It sounded like a jet engine every time the system kicked on. Simple trunk resize would have solved that $3,000 comfort complaint we got. All right, step 3, verify supply trunk capacity. It's the same drill for your supply side, but with different targets. Supply trunks should run 600 to 900 feet per minute. And here's a pro tip most contractors miss. On trunk and branch systems, you should reduce that trunk at least every 3 to 4 takeoffs to maintain proper velocity. Often with smaller systems, this could be just after 2 takeoffs. This is where measuring static pressure becomes your best friend. If you're seeing high supply static with low return static, you've probably got a restricted supply system. This could be undersized ducts, it could be a restrictive coil, it could be loose duct liner clogging the airways, right? Step 4, total your branch duct CFM. Here's your final verification. Add up all the CFM capacity of every branch duct. This total should equal or exceed your new system's design CFM. But here's the catch. And this is where experience separates the pros from just the part changers. You can verify trunk size with a duct calculator, but if you want to guarantee the right CFM to each room, there's no shortcut around a complete room-by-room manual J load calculation. Then, of course, the worksheets for manual D duct design. I've walked into homes where the trunks looked perfect on paper, but the branch layout was a disaster. Rooms at the end of long runs were getting starved for air while spaces near the equipment got blasted with excessive flow. Here's a reality check. Let me share something from the field. Last month, I evaluated a system where a contractor wanted to replace a 4-ton system with the correct size 3-ton. Initial static measurements showed 0.3 inches of water column in supply and negative 0.45 in the return. So the total static was 0.75 with 1200 CFM. But instead of upselling a complete duct replacement, We selected the heat pump for 320 CFM per ton instead of the standard 400, which now is common for many cold climate heat pump manufacturers. This brought that total static down to acceptable levels and saved the homeowner what would have been $8,000 in duct upgrades they didn't need. That's the power of measuring instead of guessing. When the duct must go. Sometimes the math tells you the ducts have to be replaced. When I see a total static over 0.7 inches of water column on a modern ECM piece of equipment, or when the friction rate calculation falls outside that 0.06 to 0.16 range, it's time for a difficult conversation with the customer. But here's the thing. Customers respect honesty. When you can show them measured data explaining why their comfort problems won't be solved with just equipment replacement, you're not selling ductwork, you're solving problems. Here's the bottom line. Measuring beats guessing every single time. These 4 steps, friction rate calculation, return verification, supply verification, and branch totaling, give you the data needed to make confident decisions about the existing ductwork. So stop leaving money on the table because you're afraid to properly evaluate duct systems or have that conversation. Stop creating callbacks because you hoped existing ducts would probably work fine. Your customers deserve systems that actually deliver comfort, and your business deserves the credibility that comes from getting it right the first time. If this process helped clarify your approach to duct eval, be sure to hit that like button. Drop a comment and tell me about your most challenging duct replacement decision. I read every single one. Thanks for joining me this week at HVAC Pro Blog, where we provide advice for residential system design, quality installation, and system diagnosis. I'll see you soon.